Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. Yes, right. Paul Shirley from Joblo.com, I think I said that properly, last April went for an on-set visit on Shazam, right? And he's written a whole article about it, and I'm going to read it out to you. I'm really excited to see what they found out. So let's have a look. Now, apparently there will be mild spoilers in this. So if you're not interested, wait until the film comes out in April and then come back and watch this video and see what you think. Right. Are you ready? Are you gone? Are you going? Are you staying? Stay. Last April, I visited the set of Warner Brothers' next solo effort superhero film, Shazam, which finds Zachary Levi portraying the titular character in superhero form, with Asher Angel playing his 14-year-old alter ego, Billy Batson. Joining the cast is Mark Strong as the villain, Dr. Sivana, Jack Dylan Glazer as Billy's best friend, Freddie Freeman, and Jijmon Hunsu as the mysterious wizard. The film was shot on location in Toronto, Canada, which doubles as Philadelphia, where the film takes place. On Earth, anyway. We visited the sets for both Rock of Eternity, which was built on a soundstage, and a full outdoor winter carnival built in a parking lot that plays in the film's finale. Wow. With so much detail tossed our way in the span of a day, here are the highlights and the main takeaways of what we learned from interviews, locations, and footage shown during our visit. The story takes place within the larger DC universe, so Shazam, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman and Aquaman all exist in Billy Batson's world. Expect plenty of nods to various pieces from the larger DCEU to pop up in the film. On numerous occasions, Shazam is revealed to be basically the movie Big, but with superpowers. The word Shazam is actually an acronym for the 6 immortal elders, that comprise each of its letters, which represent an ability or power that you obtain when you have the power of Shazam. S stands for the wisdom of Solomon. H stands for the strength of Hercules. A stands for the stamina of Atlas. Z, or Z as you Americans would say, for the power of Zeus. A for the courage of Achilles. And M for the speed and flight of Mercury, making up the full magical might of Shazam. And they've got a nice little comic book picture of Shazam with the wizard. Brilliant. Zachary Levi initially turned down even auditioning for the role of Shazam, as he figured they were looking for someone bigger or more superhero-like. After being approached a second time, he decided to give it a shot. He did a screen test and was hired to take on the role from there. The story draws on aspects from Jeff Johns' New 52, which, by the way, moving forward, basically all the DCEU films will draw from the New 52, which I'm quite happy with. I like the New 52. New 52 run in the comics, as well as other key elements from both the original 4-set comics and a long line of DC tales from over the last half-century. Shazam's costume is made up of elements from his various incarnations, including the 4-set comics and the New 52 versions, with the filmmakers choosing specific elements from different eras to make up the overall look, which is absolutely fine for me. Director David Sandberg says the film isn't an outright comedy, nor is it dark and gritty, likening it to 80s classics like Ghostbusters, Back to the Future and Goonies. Wow! You know, I think when you guys see, you're going to know what he means. Shazam will begin with a flashback to the 1970s. Right, okay, these are spoilers, right? Go away if you don't want to know anything else. Sorry, I've told you once. Showing Dr. Thaddeus Sivana as a boy living with his very wealthy family in a mansion, but being bullied and harassed by them as well. Sivana carries a magic 8-ball around with him, which is an important item to him. Now, I don't want to go into this too much, but I like the way this is actually about young children, you know, not having great childhoods. That's a great theme. The origin of the Wizard and the Rock of Eternity will be explained, as will the 7 deadly sins, which are a glimpse there. All are key elements to the overall story in Shazam. In addition, the origin of why Dr. Sivana's eye is the way it is will be explained. It will also be an important factor to the events in the film. Mark's strong performance as Dr. Sivana will be cool and confident bad guy with a lot of villain swag and appearance based off of the New 52 storyline, as the audience will have a great amount of detail in his backstory and understanding of his motivations. Yeah, and he's got great motivations, like all DCEU villains have got. Well, most of them. You may find yourself almost rooting for him at times. Brilliant. So a bit like Orm, a bit like Zod. Brilliant. So I think that's what, well, I know that, but that's what you're going to get from it. Billy Batson begins as a young kid in Philadelphia who's been skipping from foster home to foster home, convinced his real biological family is out there and he just needs to find them. He has a rebellious spirit but is also filled with great potential. I'm already filling up emotionally. He's placed into a new group home and is greeted with a diverse group of kids all living together. The group family has a catchphrase they use to signify everyone working to support each other, which is all hands on deck, perhaps something that will pop up later on in the film. We'll see. Jack Dylan Grazer plays Freddie Freeman, a superhero expert who collects all kinds of superhero memorabilia. Freddie suffers from a disability that causes him to, I'm a bit emotional now, to walk with a crutch, which makes him think Superman is the ultimate hero, as he'd love to have the ability to fly. How emotional is that? You know, and this is why people love Superman, you know. There's so many different, when people say he's so powerful, but imagine being a disabled child and what Superman would mean to you, what Superman means to so many disabled children. So, right, where am I? I've got all that emotion, I've now got lost. While running from some bullies one day, Billy is summoned by the wizard to the Rock of Entity, where he's chosen as the new champion because he is pure of heart and strong of spirit, and there's a bigger threat on the horizon that needs his attention. The Rock of Entity, not the Rock that we're looking forward to seeing as Black Adam. The Rock of Entity was built in studio and features statue versions of the 7 deadly sins, as seen in the recently released TV spot, as well as a fully lit lightning bolt and other light up props around it. The rock formations were based on formations in and around Arizona, and I can't read that word. What, kill me? Yeah, shoot me. You know, I can't. Were based on actual Egyptian hieroglyphics. Once Billy has the power of Shazam, he turns to Freddy to help him discover his abilities, as he has no other way of finding out. They perform a bunch of tests to find out his full potential and have a number of run-ins that test his abilities, even recording and uploading some of his feats and putting them online, making him a bit of a celebrity. And this is exactly what kids would do. Do you know what I mean? Dr. Sivana essentially wants the Shazam magical powers for himself and has very specific goals. Once he gets them, and will go through any means necessary to get hold of them. Shazam eventually begins to get a hold on his powers and begins to learn why he was chosen to have them, particularly when he saves a group of people in a bus about to fall off an overpass. There will be an epic battle at a shopping mall, particularly inside a toy store, where Shazam and Dr. Sivana will battle, learning for the first time the scope of each other's powers. The Christmas time setting was purposeful, as directors David Sandberg wanted to highlight family and finding your family, particular as it pertains to Billy Batson and the other foster kids in the film. The finale will take place at a winter carnival, which brings together Shazam, Dr. Sivana, and a number of surprises that encapsulate the entirety of the story. Surprises, that's an understatement. The winter carnival set was built from a scratch in an actual outdoor lot, lending to the practical aspects of the film. There's much more from our set visit to come, as many reveals aren't ready to be shared just yet. But if you're hungry for more, check out the links below to dive deeper into the magic of Shazam. Well, it's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting. I bet you're excited listening to me read that. Not that you needed me to read it, but Wow, wow. I thought that was brilliant. I hope you really got something out of that because the test screening was quite emotional, and I mean, who knows what the final cut's going to have? Maybe some things will be cut, maybe some things will be added. A few surprises there for me as well. Reading that article, very, very emotional, and I think this, I think you're all going to love this film. I think this could be your favourite DCEU film for differing reasons. I think the DCEU is in a really strong position right now. And Shazam was the right film to do next. And Zachary Levi is perfect. Absolutely perfect. He is a kid. Zach is a kid in an adult's body. And that's why it works. Well, I'll be back tomorrow for the DCEU Daily. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I shall see you tomorrow morning.